Hi everyone, it's Dream Trades and it's Wednesday 4/28 and I'm making another trade recap. Like I said, I do these every day. And anyways, I traded three stocks today. I traded Facebook, Apple, yeah, Facebook, Apple, and Microsoft. All of them were good trades in my book. They were really good scalp trades and quick as well. Um, and I got just about 10% on every single trade, and I mean my goal is 15, but profits are profits, you know. All right, so the first stock I traded today was Microsoft. Um, on the daily chart right now. So my thesis was for Microsoft. I see that what I have this right here. This is called Fibonacci retracement for anybody who doesn't know, and basically what the Fibonacci does is, um, it just allows you to identify like supports and resistances without actually having to draw them out. I actually need to do a refresher on this. I don't quite remember. I just know that it works and it draws support and resistances. So I'll make a video on that another time and do better so I can actually explain it. But like I said, it draws support and resistances, and I saw that Microsoft it's been at its all time high for a little bit, and I've been waiting for it to get a rejection or for it to come down or something like that. And I drew the Fibonacci, and you can see that it had this level up here. And there's a resistance, and you could tell by the these candlesticks up here, the dojis, showing that the momentum is weakening, and it's struggling to keep pushing upwards or find a direction. So that told me, or that made me decide to start looking on the downside and wait for a pullback, especially after this big move upwards. And typically with Fibonacci's, when the stock or whatever you're watching, it goes up to this 100 level, it always pulls back to at least the 78 level. And you could do this with any stock, honestly, and you will see it. So yeah, that's what I was watching for. And on top of that, they had earnings, and obviously they didn't do well, and the Fibonacci's held up, my thesis held up. So I just said, all right, I'm gonna try to take this on the downside. I'm gonna just look at the Fibonacci level and trade based off of how the stock interacts with it. And so it opened up here, it came down, and you see it broke this little support right here at 255. And what I was gonna do, I was honestly waiting to see how it was gonna interact. It looked like it wanted to come and like stay above this support right here. I mean this support right here, but it didn't. It had this wide body engulfing candle, because by engulfing I mean that it literally takes over this candle. It's bigger, has a wide body, and it has above average volume. And by above average volume, I always look down here, and just to see that it's above that blue line down here. And yeah, so, and I wanted to see it cross above the 200 moving average before I decided to buy any calls. So while I was watching that happened, it squeezed up, and then immediately it came back down, and then it came down, and it had equal volume to the previous candle, and this candle also engulfed this candle right here, the other wide body candle. And then I entered on this candle right here because it looked like it was about to hit the low of the day and cross below. So I bought puts, and I closed them right here on the second candle after after the next strong move down. I would have liked to take it down to the support, and you see it came down, but I don't like holding through pullbacks. I'm gonna just let you know that now. It's very uncomfortable for me, especially when I'm scalping, and when I scalp, I have pretty big positions, or at least in terms of my account size and the percent of my account in the actual trade. So I just like to get in and I like to get out. And I made 13.58% on this trade, entering right here when it was about to cross the low of day, and getting out as this candle was still forming. And the best thing to do when you're scalping, especially when you're scalping options, is always sell into strength. So by selling into strength, it means, selling while the momentum is still happening, whether you're going to catch the rest of the move or not. Because once I feel like it's about to slow down, I just said, I'm out, just like that. And that's what I did. And I know it's funny, I say that a lot. I'm always like, that's what I did in my videos, but that's what I did. And if you ever plan a scalp, or you just want to know how to take quick day trades on options, that's what you should do too, to get the best entries and the best exits and the best fills possible. So I entered across low a day, it pushed down, and then I exited, took 13% on that move in 2 minutes. But I was watching it since it started interacting with this 78.6 Fibonacci level that I was able to identify on the 1 day chart right here. And you can see that, this level is actually still holding as a support, because it didn't close below the 255 level. And I mean, you still got 30 minutes left of the actual trading day, but I don't see it closing below it. It's probably just gonna hold for the rest of the day. And tomorrow we might see a bounce, or we might see it just still hovering around that range, around that area. But yeah, that was the trade that I took on Microsoft, and let's check out my trade on Facebook next. So for Facebook, what I had wanted was to take it above 310, because I saw that there was this bull flag forming on the daily chart. And bull flags, I'm always talking about, is one of my favorite and easiest patterns to trade. And it's having really good, strong pre-market action on Facebook. And they also think they do earnings after hours, but I guess they have good expectations. So this is what pushed it up pre-market, because you can see it kind of gapped up from the last day. And yeah, I wanted to see it cross above 310, because that's a level I had identified a while ago, and it was just there. And so now let's go into the 1 minute on the intraday chart. And I wanted to buy the cross above, but that never ended up happening. It opened and it started selling off, and I noticed that, honestly, I wasn't even gonna touch it. I was just watching it, and I noticed it was struggling to come above the 200 moving average, which is the yellow line right here, the exponential moving average, EMA. And it was also forming a triangle pattern. And same thing, easy pattern, you just buy the breakout or buy the breakdown. And you can see that we had a false breakout right here. So, it hit this, is an uptrending support and a downtrending resistance, and that forms the triangle. Here, let me show you with polyline. So one touch, and then came down, and then it pulled back down to the moving average, and then it eventually broke out. So what I did to take this, I saw this happen. I saw it get rejected by the 200 moving average. Then I saw it come down and then break out again. And it had this candle, and it had this stronger candle right here. And this is again a wide body engulfing candle. And once I saw that it broke above the 200 moving average, and it looked like it was gonna hold and continue going up, I just bought a call. Just as simple as that. And again, I'm always watching the bid and the asks, and so yeah, I'm always watching the bids and the asks and making sure that it's printing green, and that the levels are holding up here. And once that had happened, it gave me enough reason to enter the trade, and I entered right as soon as this candle started forming. So where I have the arrow is like the price that I entered at. So I entered at, I guess you could say 309.40. I don't know if that's exact, but it's options. So like this, yeah. And then it squeezed up, and then this candle actually, uh, it looked like it was about to break. So I was able to sell on the breakout because I knew that it wasn't going to actually break out and continue that momentum upwards and break through it. So I was just like, all right, I'm just gonna take it out. I'm just gonna exit my position and break out at the and not break out. I'm gonna exit my position at the nearest resistance, and that was what I did. So bought right here, and then I sold up here as soon as it broke, and I sold into strength. And it's a good thing I did that as soon as it broke, because you can see that it wasn't able to actually close or do anything with this except get rejected and get rejected strongly. So it got rejected, but I was already well out, and I felt good as hell because obviously, I got out at the high of day. I got out at the very high of day right from this this breakout right here, this triangle breakout, easy pattern, and easy trade from it. So yeah, that was my Facebook trade, and you can see that the 310 level is still a strong resistance level because it came down, found the 200 moving average as a support, and then got rejected by the 310 level again, and look at that downward move afterwards. So yeah, that was my Facebook trade. Took 9.82% on that, so you can just round that to 10, to be honest. Another 2-minute scalp, easy. And then the last trade I took was Apple. That was another 2-minute. And this one was a little bit different. I don't normally take trades like this. But I always say, how Apple, I know it always tends to sell off and then come back up in the morning. And I've been watching the 135 level on the Apple for forever because, look on the daily chart. It's just been interacting with this level. It's just like playing with it, to be honest. And I want to get the breakout of that level because I know once that happens, it's going to be a strong move up. But it hasn't been able to do that whatsoever. So, I saw a different opportunity that was related to the level, and that's what I traded instead. So what I did was I identified, every morning when I'm looking for stock to trades, I identify all the levels and all the pre-market levels. So, I found a pre-market resistance up here at 134. And I found a pre-market support at 133. And you can see that Apple opened up, it had a slight push upwards, and then it came all the way down to the support level right here. And I noticed that it was kind of just stalling and the volume was slowing down. Look at my cursor, you can see that the volume dropped down a little bit because it's up higher, and then it started dropping down here. And I said, okay, this might be a good little bounce setup that I can take, even though that the 200 moving average is right there. So I'll enter it with just a small contract. A small position. See if I can win it because it looks good. And yeah. So I saw that this level was holding at the 134 level, and then it had this wide body. I'm always talking about wide body candles, but they're very important. This wide body candle right here, that engulfed this candle and this candle and this candle, and then it closed above all of these pretty much. And it pushed higher, but it eventually came back down a tiny bit. But it was enough for me to want to enter the trade, so I entered. And honestly, I wanted to see if it was gonna get rejected at the 200 moving average, and if it did, I was just gonna cut it. I didn't care if it was at like -1%. I was just gonna cut it because if it got rejected by the 200 moving average, in my opinion, that just shows that there's not enough strength for the stock to continue move upwards, especially after this big downward move right here. So I bought it right after this large engulfing candle. After seeing that this support at 134 was holding. So once I bought it, it broke very strong out of the 200 moving average resistance. You can see that it had a wide body and a strong close, and it came all the way up, and I just exited at the resistance. Again, always exit at the nearest resistance. Easy trade, easy 3-minute trade. It was nice and satisfying because it's just boom, 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 out just like that. And took 10% on that as well. Man, those are the 3 trades that I took, and they were very easy, very satisfying trades. Couldn't ask for more. So yeah, that's it for today. Thanks for watching my YouTube video, and again, I'll see you in the next recap or the next tutorial, whatever I make. You enjoyed the content and you were able to learn, like, and subscribe, so I can continue making content related to trading and stocks and options. And yeah, so that's it, and I'll see you in the next video.